welcome to another edition of Green is Good. Today we're in San Francisco at the Green Festivals, and we're so honored to have with us a special guest, Jill Riley. She's the CEO and president of Alapure Cosmetics. Welcome to Green is Good, Jill.
Thank you, John. It's great to be here.
We're so happy to have you here. But before we get talking about all the great products we see here in front of us and more of your great products at Alapure, I'd love you to share the Jill Riley story and the journey leading up to founding and owning Alapure Cosmetics. Was this part of your family upbringing or part of your education process? How did you become such a sustainability person, someone who really cared about the earth and the environment?
Thank you, John. While growing up, I have always been concerned about what I put on my body. Additionally, I love to travel, and I have been to about 34 countries to date, just for fun. I love to learn about beauty tips, beauty secrets, and it was in 2012 when I visited South Africa, I learned about the marula oil. And doing some research and even using the oil, I was so amazed by it and its benefits that I decided to launch the Alapure cosmetic brand with marula oil as the key ingredient.
And I've never heard of marula oil, so talk a little bit about what is marula oil, where is it found, and where is it derived from?
Great. Marula oil comes from the tree grows in the southern parts of Africa. So there are about 25 countries that has marula fruit. Particularly South Africa, you'll find it in Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana, Swaziland, and it grows in the wild. It's not cultivated. It's really very high in oleic acid, omega-9. So it's really great at penetrating the skin. It does a great job at getting into the skin and moisturizing it deep within the surface.
Had this ever been used before in other products, other cosmetics or soap that we've been socialized to before in the US, or you're the first person actually using and leveraging marula oil as a beauty and cosmetic tool?
It has been used. It goes back 10,000. Use of the tools that's used to extract the kernels go back 10,000 BC. And actually, the African people have been using it for centuries for its healing benefits, for its anti-aging benefits, as a sunblock, particularly for getting rid of stretch marks after having babies. So it goes back quite some time. As far as its use in the United States, in 2012, we didn't find many companies using it back then. To date, there are a lot more. I believe the Body Shop is also using marula oil in their cosmetics.
So you found the marula oil, you saw that it was great for your skin, and you saw other people were using it, you learned more about it. How did you go from there to becoming an ecopreneur, creating these wonderful products? What was your background before founding marula oil? How did you know how to turn it into these wonderful products that are sitting here in front of us?
What I know is what works for my skin, what works for my body.
Right.
But I actually had to work with a chemist to help me to formulate the products that we have. We have some soaps.
Some of these here in front of us.
So we have a couple soaps, right? The main ingredient in the soap is oleic acid. Marula oil is not the key ingredient in the soap because marula oil is best if you can put it on and you let it sit on the skin. It's not something you want to put on to wash off. And so the box is also made of 100% recyclable material. So there's marula oil, palm oil, coconut oil, and vitamin E in the soaps. The other thing is the oil, the marula oil.
Yes.
It's, like I said, oleic acid. It has about 78% oleic acid in the marula oil, but there's also, I added to that, sunflower oil. And the reason for doing that is because marula oil, while it's very rich in omega-9, the omega-6, it doesn't have as much omega-6, which is good for locking moisture in. But the sunflower oil complements it nicely as it's very rich in omega-6.
Who helped you though? Were you a chemist or did you have a beauty background? Really? I mean, to find this wonderful product but then turn it into these wonderful products, is, part science and part art. How did you do that?
It's mainly part nature, I would say, because the marula oil by itself is just wonderful.
Okay.
And you really just have to put it on the skin and experience it.
Where do you make these products?
Everything is made in the United States.
U.S.
Everything
and
is
you import the marula oil from?
We get the marula oil from South Africa. It's sourced from a women's cooperative in Limpopo, which is the northern part of South Africa.
And is that a fair trade organization?
Yes, it's fairly traded, and it's very interesting. So we were there in 2012, and because I was so intrigued about this, we had to go back in this year, actually, in March of this year. And the reason for going back is was to have a relationship with the women, to find out like who is actually behind this, how is what's the process. And it was a very interesting journey to learn about the full process of the marula oil. So there's a very short fruiting period. It fruits from January to March, and the fruits have to fall to the ground naturally. Nobody picks the fruits, it just falls to the ground naturally. The cooperative is divided into 3 sectors. The first sector, the women are responsible for collecting the fruit. That's all they do, collect the fruits. After the fruit is collected, it's washed, and it's very interesting. On my little graphic there, you will see that the next thing that happens is that they make marula beer, which is very, very important point. Marula beer. And this beer doesn't give you a hangover. What? It's also an aphrodisiac. So the marula beer, there's a marula festival also.
But this is like a wonder. This is a wonder product you've discovered here, right?
It is. It certainly is. And the interesting thing with the marula beer also is to get the fleshy part of the fruit away from the seed. So once that's removed, the seeds is left to dry for.
Oh, can I hold one of those?
Yes, certainly.
Beautiful.
The seed is left to dry for 3 months. It's left to dry.
Nice.
It's left to dry for 3 months, and then it's cracked open with special stones. It's washed and cracked with these special stones. I tried cracking the seeds, and it took me about 29 tries. The women normally do it in about 3 tries.
Wow.
And after that, it's a special tool is used to extract the kernel. And then that's pressed, and the oil is extracted.
There's more to it than meets the eye.
There is a lot more than meets the eye.
So wait a second. I want to go back for just a second.
Certainly.
The marula beer, is that part of your grand plan to bring marula beer to America, or to?
No, I'm not going to bring marula beer to America.
That's not the grand plan. This is all about beauty.
Yes, it's about beauty. And,
I got it. So, but these women, how many women are employed in this community?
There are about 76 total.
76.
76.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. The third sector, which I didn't talk about, the third sector is still being developed, and what they're interested in is not just making the oil and sourcing the oil, but also in making things like lotions and skin balms and lip balms, etc. And this is where Alapure Cosmetics is actually working with them to help finalize, refine that process, to help them in making things like lotions and stuff, so that they can improve their value add.
Wow. So who helped you come up with going from this process to developing these wonderful products? Did you have a friend, or you just hired someone?
I hired
some specialist?
someone, yes, a specialist to work with me to get the products that I want to bring to the people, pretty much.
If you just tuned in on the radio, or you're watching here on our YouTube channel on Green is Good, we're with Jill Riley, the CEO and president of Alapure, and you can find her at Alapure, Alapure.com, Alapure.com. How'd you come up with that name?
Very interesting, because I wanted the products to be as pure as possible. So it's representative of all, alar, and then pure. Also, the Tabono symbol that you see around the Alapure, it's an ancient African Adinkra symbol. It's called Tabono, and it stands for strength, confidence, and persistence, which embodies the brand. It embodies the people who utilize.
So the logo is
products.
just not pretty, it means something. There's meaning
yes,
behind it.
Yes, certainly it does.
Wow. So how's it been going so far since you've started the company a couple of years back? Where have you been selling your products, and where can our listeners and our viewers find your great products?
The products right now are available at alapure.com. That's ALAPURE.com. It's also available on Amazon. We're in the process of spreading out, getting into the stores and stuff. But it has been a long journey, but it has been a wonderful journey. We get a great reception from people at the Green Festival. We have been to the Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C. Green Festivals.
So you found a lot of value with being here at the Green Festival, so people
Certainly.
can touch and smell and feel your great products.
Yes, that's one thing. People always want to touch, smell, feel, and experience it. And the one thing is, once the people that we encounter, once they have that ability to touch and feel the products, it's just, it's a no-brainer.
Wow.
I saw somebody got converted yesterday, a gentleman who had no intentions of buying the product. I said, just one drop. That's all you need, just one drop. And he allowed me to put one drop of oil on his hand. He bought the oil, he bought some soaps, he was converted.
So this has so many winning sub-stories, Jill.
Yes.
First of all, you're supporting a sustainable and fair trade community back in Africa. Second of all, we have a woman ecopreneur, as in Jill Riley. Third of all, this is really great for all our listeners and viewers who want to use your great products, because this is a natural product with no chemicals or additives in it that's going to make their skin feel better and just going to be better for their health all around.
Certainly it is, and it just works so wonderfully. It's not greasy at all. You put it on and it soaks right into the skin. It leaves the skin with a wonderful glow, and the nutrients actually work. And I use it mainly at night, the oil. I put about 3 drops on my face, I massage it in, and I go to bed, and the next morning I get up and I'm just like,
And you
wow,
have a beautiful glow. That's how it works.
Yes, that's how it works. It's very simple.
Well, for our listeners and viewers out there, please go to Jill Riley's great website. It's www.alapure, alapure.com. Alapure, ALAAPURE.com. Jill Riley, thank you for being our guest today.
Thank
you are
you, John.
truly living proof
Thanks.
that green is good.
I appreciate it. Thank you.